Hey, Brad's here today, and Brad, you bought a Ventrac because of this channel.
I did, because of you. 2 years ago?
I don't know. You would know.
Roughly 2 years ago, bought a Ventrac.
Yeah, we went to your location where your project is. It's real steep banks into a retention pond, and naturally I got Vinny stuck in there.
Yep, he did. He put Vinny down there, but I needed somebody to show me if it would cut a slope or a hillside, and if it would hold it, and it did that and more. So finance committee approved it, and I bought a Ventrac with a 6-foot finish mower. Now I got the tough cut, got the bucket, and this is the next thing on the list.
He's going to buy this stump grinder. We're going to work on it today. We'll talk some more about his Vinny and maybe our new 4520. Let's get started.
Well, the cutting teeth have held up well.
They've never been touched. So you can, like, this one's worn a little bit.
Right.
Instead of cut, it's worn.
But like this one here, how are you in that
You can see the sides. Usually I go into it from the side, right?
Yep, right.
But some of them are actually broken.
Yep.
And
well,
so,
in it being fixed like that, I mean, that's what you're just kind of grinding back and forth, up and down. And
really, you grind left and right, mainly.
Right. By turning the steering wheel.
By turning the steering wheel, that's how it works. I didn't feel good about selling this thing to Brad without fixing it up a little bit. So we got some new teeth to put on it. Okay, let's see if we can find one that needs to be replaced. Now, there's a couple of little
spacers.
Well, they're angled, so they're meant to lock it in, I think.
Okay.
See how that works? There may not be. There may only be
like a ferrule or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, ferrule. That's probably the right name for it.
And that's just on the back side.
I think the last time I did this on a different device, the viewer said that there was a set torque value I'm supposed to go to.
I bet you'll reach it right about now.
About there?
Yep.
I think that's it about right. I think that's about right too. Now this thing has 4 different settings. I had it on the highest one. I may not need it on the highest one.
It's even got a little bit of sharpness to it. Yeah.
Yeah, those new ones will be sharp. Here you go.
All right.
And now, if we want to rotate that thing, we can release this and rotate it, and then if you want to freeze it.
Gotcha.
So
wherever ones you want to go.
Yeah, it's your grinder.
Oh. It's not I don't think it's the right size for it. You took it off.
You don't think it's the right size?
I don't know. I'll let you.
It looked to me like it worked.
It felt like it was spinning on, but maybe it wasn't.
Now there's kind of 3 notches it'll sit in. Did you notice that? It'll stop turning when you get it into the notch. That. Did you find it now?
It fit. Seemed like I think I got lucky and just shoved it in there right there. Yeah, I got lucky and just found a home right away. There you go.
Be careful, you're going to have bare fingers and it's sharp there.
Gotcha. There it is.
Okay.
They look like the same depth as the other one, so.
Yeah. So maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll just replace the broken ones. Whatever you think.
Oh, I mean, if they look like they're broken on that one.
Here's what the teeth look like that we're putting in.
We may have done them already. Looks like the rest of them they're there.
Okay, well, we'll send a few more along with you, depending on how dull those are. But again, you can rotate them if we find that. Usually we're going toward the side here, so this side's probably the one that's going to be the most worn. And it seems like interesting, certain of them appear to be somewhat worn, and the others seem to be almost new.
Yeah.
A little rusty, of course, because it's been sitting on that limestone in the shelter logic.
Oh, there's a good picture of a new one compared to the old one.
Mm-hmm.
I notice it's got a grease dirt on the bottom side.
Yeah, we should grease that up a little bit.
Where the, I thought that would have already been gone.
Well, that's up out of the way.
It is,
yeah, you really only take...
You're only taking, you know.
Yeah. Now we did have, before you got here, I pulled a lot of that grass out of the, around the shaft here that had got hung up on there. Since it spins one direction, there's some grass in there. Now we have one other issue here, and that's this, I think it's called a race, has come off of here. So we'll need to see if we can get that back on. It's, I think they call it an eccentric. It's not centered around here, so we got to get it on and then rotate it. And that looks like it's rusted a little bit since it came off, so I thought we might see if we could take off a little of that rust.
Polish it up a little bit.
Yeah. I really don't know how it came off. I suspect the little set screw in the side was loose, is what I'm expecting. And we happened to find it when we were grinding with it.
In the chips?
In the chips, yeah. It's like, uh-oh.
You just twist it?
And I'm going to go backwards here until I get it on, if I can. There, it went on. I'm no expert on these, but I think you use this hole here with a punch. I'll tighten this up. And you use that a punch to tighten it.
So the punch does what?
So,
helps set itself in there?
Well, I'm going to rotate it a little bit. See, now this should be tight. Yeah. So the idea is, remember, it's off center. So if I rotate it,
locks it down in.
That should tighten it up, see?
Yep,
so that should be really tight there. I'll go a little bit more maybe. Yeah, it's quit now.
Yep.
Okay. So now, release the belt here and take us to the Allen set screw, and then we'll hit that.
Still haven't got that down, Tim. There it goes. Gotta get stronger.
So we'll tighten this. I think this is going to be good. I don't think there's any damage there whatsoever. I think it just came off.
Yep. I think it would after a certain, after
probably we got this down in and hit the wood. Try out my lube shuttle.
All right. This is, I haven't used one like this. You do it till you see some grease, or?
Well, I don't know if you want that much or not.
That ought to be enough. Yep, I can see it now.
Have you ever used a lock and lube before?
Nope. I've got a DeWalt gun that I just got last year.
Oh, that is not wanting to take.
Nope, it's done.
Is that all it's going to do? Try to. Let me see if we can rotate it here and get it to take.
There we go.
We'll try a manual one.
See if it'll do it.
But I don't think it'll take it. No, it's not one to take, is it? Next step is to, boy, that thing is on there.
Yeah, it had some pressure on it. I couldn't believe you got the other one off the diesel. Oh, you got it.
I mean, it really had pressure on it. Okay, so we'll have to take that fitting out and replace it. Okay. Some of you are bragging because I'm using my Nip-X, and others of you are complaining because I'm not finding a wrench to fit this. I believe it's turning it.
Just long-winded. There it goes.
So Brad, let's see if the fitting really is bad. We'll just hook it in our little lock and lube here. Right? And we'll try to pump some grease in it. Look at that.
Nope, not gonna go.
The fitting is indeed bad. We'll try this new fitting here, see if this will thread in. Oh, look at that. It's going to
Isn't
be
that
perfect.
something?
Perfect, perfect. And those of you that don't like seeing the Nip-X, turn away.
Look away. I haven't used that locking lube. I kind of like that. You can hear it filling grease.
There we go.
I can't hear it anymore, so I think it's probably got.
Should have enough.
Should be good.
So let's take a look at this gun here. There's 2 or 3 things about this gun that are interesting. The lock and lube is separate. That's the first thing you noticed.
Yes.
Right? So that is a locking coupler. You can put it on there. You only need one hand, right?
That helps a bunch when you're trying to lock that on.
Yeah.
Plus
and
use the
it
gun.
stays locked even under high pressure. You just saw it work.
Yep.
Now that's the coupler, but the gun itself is totally unique. So this is only a sleeve on the outside. Uses different tubes.
Gotcha.
So if you've ever used a grease tube before, you cannot take one out halfway.
No way.
And reuse it. This one you can, and well, my finger may not be able to reach all the way up there this time, but I can grab something here and I can just push that plunger up a little bit.
I'll be darned.
All right, there comes the grease. Put it up a little bit tall like that and screw it right in there. That allows you to change types of grease. And notice there's no plunger that goes all the way through it. It's not going to leak out the bottom.
Gotcha.
For those of us who use just a few tubes a year, this is pretty incredible.
Yes.
So it's called the Lube Shuttle.
Never seen it before.
And again, it uses these unique tubes. The tubes are a bit more expensive than a regular tube, but it's just so much cleaner.
Yep.
It's not messy.
No.
So I really like this thing.
That is sharp.
Let's see if we can find any other fittings on here. I think that
Maybe
it.
it's all sealed in there. You know, because I've watched you on the videos, Tim, and you're not one to abuse any kind of equipment or anything, so.
Maybe, but I'm also not one to take it totally easy on a piece of equipment. We
That's
try
what I
to
meant.
test them
That's
out.
kind of, yeah, just to see what they can do.
Yeah, and, you know, but there's a difference. There's a
Yeah,
difference
you're
between being abusive and using it hard.
Yeah.
I really believe there's a difference,
I agree.
and some people like to say that we do abuse equipment. We do use it hard, but we try to make sure it's greased. We try to make sure it's you know, ready to go, and so
Well, I
that's
haven't
what's.
seen a video with you jumping it over cliffs or anything like that, so.
Yeah, yeah. I remember there is an episode with a guy jumping a little John Deere over on ramps and seeing how far it'd go. Oh my goodness, that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, anything else we need to do here before we put it on your machine?
I don't think so. Looks like it's ready to grind some stumps.
Okay.
I was admiring the lift with the, what do you call it, the carry-all, or however you do that, but that's nice to be able to pick your equipment up. We weren't rolling around on our knees trying to work on the cutter teeth and all that stuff. It was a nice, handy place to work on it.
Yeah, we can get it up there where we can work at eye level. A nice, much easier place to work.
Yep.
It really does work well. It's called the turf rail.
Turf rail?
Yeah. And you set it at the distance, set the two pieces a distance apart for your wheelbase.
Gotcha. Yep.
So I've got markings here for all of my tractors. 1025R marking, 2038R marking.
Oh, see it? Yep.
And then it's on V right now for Vinny. Well, why don't you hop on that thing and drive it off of here, and
All right.
we'll maybe park it right out here in front of the saw or something where we can get to it.
It's a different feel on this, even though it's a different, same.
Yeah. What did you notice any difference?
Mainly the seat. I was looking for the choke for the gas. This isn't a Kubota gas one, is it?
Nope, it's a diesel.
Gotcha. Sounded like a diesel when I started it up, but yeah, I was looking for the gas because you've got to choke. You got to choke the gas one, no matter whether it's middle of the summer or not.
Even if you've just ran it just a second ago.
Exactly. Yep.
It's just part of the nature of them,
Yes,
isn't
it
it?
is.
Okay, so the first thing you need to do is put that leg down.
All right.
Probably that first hole up, yeah.
Up one?
Probably that one right there.
Okay.
Yep, you're right there. Nah. You don't really need to lock it, probably.
Gotcha. And then from there?
Set it down. Take the belt off. So the next thing is to release the hooks there.
4.
And then, yeah, I just pull it off
Just
like that. I don't know. With the larger attachments, I don't do that.
Right.
But with this one, it seems like it's hard to get it balanced just right. And so I do a little bit more manually. I bet you never run yours without the duals.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. I'm used to having another set of tires out there, so that even is even more different.
Put her down a little. Okay.
Just
now
like
that's
that.
where I find for this one it's a lot easier to do it manually.
Yep. Lock it down.
Yep. Let me put the belt on. Raise it up. I usually start it pretty much at idle. I was glad you didn't let it down and grind into my floor.
Right. Well, this isn't a concrete grinder, but we can.
It'll grind in here.
I bet it would. It throws some sparks.
I've got a couple of areas where I have dug into the concrete with it, so.
That's what a shop's for.
Well, we're missing a couple of pieces.
Yes.
We're missing these pieces right here to mount the mirror.
Yep.
I think I left them on an old Vinny when I sent it back. Oh yeah, I'd have to lift that. I always forget that. We do have the mirror.
Just not the bracket.
Just not the brackets to mount it with, so we'll get that taken care of. So.
Those brackets just let this slide in.
Yeah, and you can see yourself meanwhile.
There you go. Yep. Okay, I'm good. I always thought you did more of it by feel, but you do use the mirror? You find the mirror?
You use the mirror exclusively, really. I mean,
Really?
because you don't have any way to see it down in front of you. Notice it's positioned right where you can't see it.
Nope.
And it takes a few minutes to figure out that everything's backwards, right?
Yes.
But once you get going with it, it's handy as a pocket in a shirt. It really is nice to be able to just grind, and you don't go forward and back very often. You steer left and right, and then you set it down, and you steer left and right again, and then you might inch forward just a little bit.
Right.
Right.
And the oscillating part of it is nice because you're not tearing the grass up. You're rolling on the grass, and that's what I was worried about at home. I've got a lot of old maple stumps to take up that used to be a farm field that grew up, and got tons of them to take out that I didn't want to use a backhoe to dig them up. So if I can get them ground underneath the ground, dirt level a little bit, so I can plant over top of it and mow. Because Ventrac I did spend, I bought 3 spindles for my finish mower because I caught the outside right-hand finish mower blade on a stump. So.
Yeah, I broke a spindle off of my 6-foot finish mower as well. It's easy to do.
Yep.
And we just have to
You learn what
be
you
careful.
can and can't do.
But this little stump grinder, it looks small. It really is kind of unassuming, right?
Yes.
But it'll grind. It's pretty amazing.
That's kind of the same way when I called you when I watched this on the slopes and kept looking at it thinking it would do it, and you came out and showed me it could do it. So that's when I bought one And I've seen the stump grinder several times, and I think it's going to work out fine.
It's kind of a theme with the Ventrac stuff, actually. They look like, oh, that might sort of halfway do the job. And then once you get it, you're
set.
You're set, and it really does the job, doesn't it? I mean, it's nothing halfway.
Yeah. Well, with the finish mower and the tough cut and the bucket, and now this, I've not been disappointed with anything so far. So
next, we're gonna have to get him on a power rake.
Power rake, it's coming. Yep, power rake. Finance committee's giving me a hard time, as you put.
Finance committee's busy. His finance committee is busy today. She's shopping, so it's a perfect time for us to go down to the dealership and see if we can get you a power rake.
I think it'd work out fine.
Okay, we're gonna go do that. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Wisdom, instruction, and insight as well.